Hi everyone, Brian here for Work to Game, and I've been debating on, telling this story, and it's the story of love, loss in Dragon Quest XI and how that really impacted me this year. If you guys haven't played Dragon Quest XI and you don't want anything spoiled, we're going to talk about some serious beats in the story and how they really impacted me. This video isn't so much about Dragon Quest XI as it's about, things and events that's happened to me and my family and our friends in the year 2018. I'm generally really positive. I'm very joyful. The only reason I bring this today is just after talking, with my brother and my sister specifically, them encouraging me to tell the story of Dragon Quest XI of 2018. And the only way I can do it is from the eyes of a parent and a father and somebody who in 2018, and I do want to apologize because I am going to be emotional, we went through a lot in 2018, and my sister-in-law Brittany said it best at Thanksgiving when she said that 2018 was a reminder that we're not invincible. And so for those of you who've been following our channel here at Work to Game for a while, you know that we posted a video back in March when Chris and I lost a dear friend, Eric, suddenly. And the first obviously big impact was Eric had an 8-week-old dear little girl. Following that, the week later than that, I ended up in the hospital, rushed because I thought I was dying. Obviously, I didn't, and I had turns out I had an anxiety attack, and it was really weird. It's the first time I kind of experienced that, but it kind of brought me back into a little bit of reality, knowing, what anxiety was. I don't necessarily think I ever had it or experienced it before, but now I think I can relate, better to some people in my family. My father specifically has social anxiety. And I never really understood it or that until that happened. And the reason I bring that up is that then obviously I didn't talk about this at all on the channel. Was about a month later, my sister almost died from complications of surgery. She had to get rushed back to the hospital and had multiple follow-up surgeries, which very life-threatening. It was very touch and go, and it just was really a crazy spring, along with I probably ended up working more hours than I've ever worked for anything in my life. This 2018 was just, it was a good year. There were really good things about this year. And you're probably at this point wondering, when are we going to talk about Dragon Quest? And I just kind of wanted to bring those three things up, kind of as three really big events that kind of kicked off the year. We had some stuff in the fall that we'll get to here in a second, but so how does this relate to Dragon Quest? Back before I met my wife Julie, I was engaged to another wonderful woman, but it didn't work out, and our engagement fell through, and I always kind of viewed that as a good thing. For some reason during that year, that was we were watching a little bit of How I Met Your Mother. This was right around season 1, and if you guys haven't seen season 1 of How I Met Your Mother, spoiler warning. The end of it, and has two characters, Marcia and Lily. They break up. I didn't ever see that episode, and it wasn't until that I went back and watched that episode a year later or 6 months later, sometime around that. And I was just watching it because I was like, oh, I missed it. I want to see what happens before season 2. I guess I started season 2. And I ended up just just crying throughout that episode because I ended up processing grief that I hadn't really fully processed in through the breakup of me and my ex-fiance. I say that because Dragon Quest XI was a story that really helped me process through the grief of Eric, through the realization of my human limits, through almost losing my sister, and just being happy that she's around. And a lot of that came into play with the hero's parents who had sacrificed themselves to save the hero as a little baby. Obviously, you lose your mother, and it isn't really until for me that you run into your grandfather, and that connection, because that he thought you were lost, he thought you were dead, and the joy that he feels at the same time as the grief in the morning that he still feels for his daughter, your mother, the queen of your home nation. That really hit me hard. I was playing that with my daughter, and it was so beautiful. And for me as a parent, and thus holding my child while we play and experience kind of that thing, really first hit me hard. Just the sheer weight of it, just the sheer sense of loss that could be. And so that was kind of one piece of kind of that story. And then there's the other story with Veronica and Serena. They're twin sisters, and they're supposedly reincarnated versions of this great sage, and the hero is the reincarnation of this luminary. A lot of this stuff ties in with things that happened in the past. But yeah, these twin sisters, and they're on a journey to protect the luminary. And there's a lot of foreshadowing and illusion that completely went over my head while I was playing this game. And so in my mind, while I'm I guess kind of spoiler warning here, when the bad guy goes and destroys the world, he destroys the world tree, he wins essentially, thus splitting up and having the whole second half of the game, not counting the post game, and we're not going to touch on that here. But when you lose, and then you lose, and you're going and you're working on getting the band back together, when you're working on restoring your party, you're going through and you're finding your party, the people who've made sacrifices so that you live, like the mermaids, was I think a real key point that I think really hit me pretty hard. There's a lot of, this game was a lot about sacrifice, about love, about doing the right thing even in the wrong circumstances, or like in bad circumstances, just that we're like, it's not fair. The going on that journey, and speaking especially with Veronica and Serena, in my mind I always was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my team. I've got Eric, I've got Veronica, and I've got Serena, and that's who I'm using. That's who I'm going to use. And they did this so beautifully well that when you do get Serena back, I'm sitting here going and saying like, okay, great. Next is obviously Veronica. So I go in to the main kind of town, and then Serena's like, oh, I sense Veronica's presence, and she's over here. And you're talking with her parents, and it's like, okay, great. We're gonna get the group together, and we're gonna go and defeat the bad guy. And I'm sitting here, and it just hadn't dawned on me yet. But you go and you find her, and you end up finding that she's dead. And the reason she's dead is because she sacrificed herself so that everybody would live. There's everybody would have been dead, but she made this ultimate sacrifice. And then obviously, just for me as a parent, seeing this, because having talked to her parents just right before finding out that she was dead, was really, really hard. It's just so silly in some ways. And it just really hit me, just the weight of 2018. And I was so thankful, and so I just felt so blessed to be experiencing this game, because for me, it just helped me work through so much grief that I hadn't fully processed yet. The year wasn't perfect. It was great, and it wasn't you could look at everything, and I try to look at things with just joy. That doesn't matter what bad things happen. It doesn't matter. We're all going to have loss. We're all going to have to suffer at some point, whether we're suffering today or we're suffering tomorrow. I think joy is something that tries to exist throughout being happy or sad, or what's going on. It's this sense, this eternal joy that, I think is important to strive for. I bring this up because obviously recently, we had both good news and bad news. My sister was pregnant, and then unfortunately she lost the baby. So the same sister who almost died. And it's just like, you just wonder sometimes. You just wonder sometimes. I don't have any other, I guess, better words to say with that. I loved playing Dragon Quest XI. I rated it as part of my review as the best RPG I've ever played, and hopefully this makes that have a little bit more context as to what I felt while I was playing it. I would encourage you guys to do the same, but more than just playing a simple game, I would encourage you today, if you're watching this video still and you're surviving through an adult man being emotional about a video game and about his life, to call or to go say hi, to hug those that you love, as long as you can, to love as best as you can, to be joyful for every moment that you can choose to be joyful, to strive for that. 2019, 2020, 3000, time is going to move on, and we're going to be left, with memories and hopefully good ones. I guess I don't have a conclusion to this video, but it's a story that I think should be told. And I hope that you have a better year in 2019. I hope that everybody does. My prayers are, for you guys and for this community. I love each and every one of you, and God loves you guys more. I thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm going to wrap it here, guys. I'm joyful. I'm loved. I'm blessed. I've got so much going for me. I've got 3 amazing kids, an amazing wife. I've got, I think, the best family that anybody could ever ask for. But I wanted to sit down and tell the story about Dragon Quest and what it meant to me and how it helped me process this stuff. Anyway, thanks again. Like I said, I love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day. And Happy New Year. Hope each and every year and each and every new year is better than the last for you guys. But with that, and without further ado, I'm just kind of stumbling here. Take care. God bless you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Hey guys, it's me. Oh, well, if you don't know me, my name's Terry. I'm a beautiful Tyrannosaurus from Texas, and it just doesn't get more country than that. I tell you what, I grew up in these parts. I was resurrected by a ghost, and that ghost told me that I needed to come out and hang out on Work to Games YouTube channel to tell everybody they should totally hit that thumbs up. Thumbs down make Terry hungry. It makes me hungry. You hear me? Hungry. Anyway, Terry, just keep it together. Keep it together, Terry. All right, guys. So, without doubt, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and hit subscribe if you haven't already to see more of me and my beautiful nose. Okay. All right. Good talking to you. I'll see you guys soon. See you real soon. Terry, the Tyrannosaurus from Texas.